Here are the instructions for the Diverse Perspectives on an Oppressed Population, a paper and short reflection. There are 130 points possible for this assignment. Assignment Overview. Choose a human population who experiences oppression such that their safety and their human rights are violated. Show how this oppression of a human population has local or community as well as global implications. A good starting point is to look at the Universal Declaration of Human Rights to identify a basic human rights violation. Assignment Overview continued. The goal of this paper is to use what you have learned through this semester to think critically and write a 4 to 6 page report about a violation of human rights with global implications from the viewpoint of at least 2 diverse perspectives, different stakeholders, and then reflect on how your own cultural framework impacts how you viewed this population and how writing this paper helped you understand local and global issues. Required parts of this paper. A topic proposal memo worth 25 points. A draft of this paper. If you are in a class that meets in person, you will need to bring a paper copy to the class for which this is required. Then you will complete a peer review within your group and make your own list of revisions worth 10 points. And then the final paper is worth 130 points. Required content number 1. This might be a good way to organize your paper. Be sure to read all of the instructions prior to beginning your research and writing this paper. Title of paper. Name the oppressed human population that you are studying. 2. Required content. Using facts you found in your research, describe how the ethical issue of oppressing this population of people is a global issue at the macro level, the impact it has in your community at the meso level, and how this issue impacts individuals and/or yourself at the micro level. Be sure to describe who is being oppressed, what actions are taken to oppress them, and who is oppressing them. This section requires facts from your sources with in-text citations. 3. Required content. Describe which article from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the UDHR, is being violated and describe that article. You do not need to include the complete text of the article. The UDHR is not international or U.S. law. It is a declaration only. 4. Describe at least 2 important groups of stakeholders with a vested interest in this issue. This section requires facts from your sources and the use of in-text citations. 4. Continued. The stakeholders you discuss must be on opposite sides of this ethical issue. For example, choose a stakeholder who wants to keep things as they are and possibly is actively involved in oppressing your chosen population. You must also choose a stakeholder who is either the oppressed population or wants to protect the oppressed population and therefore change the situation. 4. Continued. Analyze each stakeholder in terms of their viewpoint about this ethical issue by describing at least 2 of their possible cultural frameworks as well as the ethical framework that might guide their choice of actions. 5. Required content. Describe possible solutions by reporting on the following. Find at least 2 specific laws or policies that are designed to help the oppressed population, with 1 law or policy at the local level and 1 at a national level. If you are comparing 2 countries, provide a law or national policy from each country. Again, this section requires facts from your sources with in-text citations. 5. Continued. Find at least 2 organizations or other actions that are designed to help the oppressed population, with 1 at the local or national level and 1 organization that addresses the issue at the global level. Describe what these organizations or actions are trying to or have achieved. This section also requires facts from your sources with in-text citations. 5. Continued. Evaluate the solutions and laws or policies and organizations in the context of ethical frameworks by asking and answering at least 2 of the following questions. Which option will produce the most good and do the least harm? The utilitarian ethical framework. Which option best respects the rights of all who have a stake? The rights approach. Which option treats people equally or proportionately? The justice approach. Which option best serves the community as a whole, not just some of its members? The common good approach. Which option leads me to act as the sort of person I want to be? The virtue approach. 6. Required content. Material from resources must be properly quoted throughout your research paper using direct quotes, summarizing, and paraphrasing. You must include an in-text citation when you include this material, basically anytime you report something as a fact. Include a citation page at the end of your paper. Please use a consistent style such as APA or MLA. 7. Reflection. Put this reflection at the bottom of your report after the citation page. Write a 200 to 300 word reflection, but no more than a total of 500 words. First, given your understanding of your own cultural and social identity, your own perspective as a stakeholder in your own life, how do you believe this understanding impacts or influences your perspective on the issues researched, discussed, and evaluated for this paper? And second, describe how your research and writing of this report contributed to your own understanding of local and international issues and what was significant for you. Remember, this reflection is worth 10 points and is often the most left off of people's papers, so include it. How to complete this assignment. A topic proposal memo, draft of this paper, and a peer review and list of revisions are all required in order for you to have your final paper graded by your instructor. 2. College-level work needs to observe the conventions of spelling, punctuation, and sentence structure. Your work must be proofread. 3. You must use sources that are no more than 6 years old unless you are using historical material for a historical population. You must have a minimum of 10 resources. One way to keep track of this is to label your citation page with these required sources. 2 books. 2 peer-reviewed scholarly articles, usually from a professional journal. 2 laws or national policies. 2 organizations, and at least 2 other credible resources about this ethical issue. 4 and 5. Include a complete citation page at the end of your paper. Material from resources must be properly quoted throughout your research paper using direct quotes, summarizing, and paraphrasing throughout the paper. You must include an in-text citation when you include this material, basically anytime you report something as a fact. Ask a librarian or see the library help videos. Make sure to clean up the citation page so that the font and point size are consistent. If you copy and paste citations, they will inevitably be different sizes and different fonts and perhaps even different colors. Please make sure that all of your citations are the same font as the rest of your paper and the same point size. Please use a consistent style such as APA or MLA. 6. Your paper should be about 4 to 6 pages long plus a citation page, but must be no more than 8 pages total, including the citation page, plus your reflection answers. It must be typed using a 12-point font, double-spaced, with standard 1-inch margins. List your name, class, assignment name, and date at the top left-hand side of the first page. 7 and 8. This assignment must be saved as a Word document, doc or docx, and uploaded to the diverse perspectives on an oppressed population assignment in Blackboard. Grading. This assignment will be graded on the rubric that is attached to the assignment. Thank you. Be sure to read all of the instructions before beginning this paper. Remember that you must complete the topic proposal, bring a draft to class, and complete a peer review and list of revisions in order to have your final diverse perspectives paper graded.